Get your tinfoil hats out, folks, because new radar imaging from underneath the Pyramid of Khafre may change every single thing we've ever known about human civilization. This is the Pyramid of Khafre. It's the second Great Pyramid of Giza. The first Great Pyramid of Giza was built for the pharaoh Khufu. This was built by his son Khafre, and they used synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography to look inside and underneath the pyramid. I don't know why they just did that now. The first thing you do when you're looking for stuff is you look in it and under it. Like, you lose the television remote, what do? The first thing you do is you look in the cushion. You don't find it there. The second thing you do, you go underneath the couch. These are just, when you're looking for things, that's what you do. I don't know what archaeologists have been doing this whole time, but I guess now we have the technology to really get a good look inside this thing, and what they found is absolutely mind-blowing. Looking inside this, they not only found a brand new chamber, but underneath it, they found these gigantic cylinders. 2 rows of parallel cylinders that go 600 meters deep underneath the ground with some sort of coil wrapped around it. Some people are speculating that might be a walkway. Some people are thinking it might be there to conduct electricity, but they go 600 meters underneath. And that's only the beginning, because those cylinders are attached to these gigantic cube chambers. I think they're made of red granite. They're 80 meters by 80 meters. And so the entire structure goes 2 kilometers underneath the Great Pyramid of Khafre. We're talking like 1.25 miles underneath the ground. And they discovered that all the pyramids in this area are connected by this underground structure. And I believe, if my timeline's correct, they did this back in 2022, 2023. But on March 15th of this year was when they put out the press release with all of this information. This is bananas. It changes everything. Now, I've always been a skeptic of the pyramids. I mean, no surprise. I do a goddamn series with a tinfoil hat on my head. But there's always been people that explain the pyramids saying that they were built by slaves, and you just don't understand the scope of just how many enslaved people were working on it, so it was possible for them to just wrap the limestone up with the rocks and pull them up on ramps and build it. But this shit, this ain't being built by people from 2000 BC, okay? Nobody's building 2 kilometers worth of cylinders underneath the ground with spiraling coils wrapped around it, you know? No one's doing that using sticks and stones. Now, in the first place, when people bring up the pyramids, you always jump to the aliens, right? Shout out to the Anunnaki. Anyone who's ever watched Ancient Aliens knows that the Anunnaki came from the planet Nibiru, and they are this advanced species of humanoid aliens that had the technology and the knowledge to build pyramids. But I think this is much more likely that this is evidence of an advanced civilization that is now lost. Shout out to Atlantis, or the Lost Islands, or the Lost Civilizations, because we, as a society, we always view society and civilization and technology as this linear thing that, as time goes on, we get smarter and more advanced. But what if it was more cyclical? What if there were civilizations that were more advanced who got wiped out by like a natural disaster, the Great Flood, some sort of cataclysmic event, and then that technology and knowledge is lost, and whoever has to pick up the pieces, they start from scratch because that information was not passed down. And so it's not this thing that continually builds upon. It's something where you have to start over. Maybe those people were so advanced and had knowledge and built these things 2 miles underground and then get wiped out, and the next people come along and they're just doing sticks and stones. Either way, whether you're talking aliens, whether you're talking lost civilizations, some sort of lost technology, either way, no matter what it is, it completely changes everything. Because the only thing we can say for certain is that regular people from the Egyptian civilization in 2500 BC were not able to build what they found underground. Rapper turned OnlyFans star Iggy Azalea took to Twitter to say that Kanye West sends dick pics to other men and shares his fantasies with them. Now, this comes after Kanye West was tweeting about Iggy Azalea's son that she shares with Playboy Cardi. Kanye said, "I want to get Onyx on one of my songs." And Iggy replied saying, "Please stop talking about my son. You're a fucking asshole, and this leaves a shitty digital footprint for him." And after that, she tweeted about how Kanye sends his dick to other men and how he tried to fly her out to Wyoming. And she said, "Listen, if you're going to get married, please make sure that person gives you consent before they send their dick to other men." Now, as Iggy said, it is one of the most poorly kept secrets that Kanye West is an absolute sex addict. I mean, the stories you will hear about that guy, he is obsessed with porn. And he's been rapping about that forever, and he's kind of showing his hand. But behind the scenes, he is always propositioning porn stars, asking his wife to get involved, threesomes, guys fucking her, everything. So it makes sense that he would take it a step further and just swing that direction. And now it's obvious at this point that Kanye is completely off the reservation. He doesn't care about anything. I don't think he's going to care if people find out that he's been sending his dick to guys, girls, fucking animals, whatever. But that being said, in the rap game, as big as he is, it's a little wild that he just let it fly like that. That's crazy that he did that, and then it took this long for someone to speak out about it, because there's two rules when you send around your dick pic. Number one is you got to get consent, and number two is do not become an anti-Semitic asshole after the fact who praises Hitler and then tweets about other kids being special needs, because everyone will grow to fucking hate you and nobody will respect your privacy. So I just want to know who he's sending it to, because like imagine being that guy who just opens up his phone and is like, oh shit, Kanye texted me, and then it's just Yeezy's hog. And even crazier than that is him explaining his fantasy to other dudes. Like that is the last thing I want is to hear about Kanye West's actual beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy, because you know he's doing some weird shit. Some got mommy issues and all sorts of, his dick and his fantasies have got to be like the weirdest shit going. That's maybe top 5 strangest text that anyone has ever received. Drop a comment below. What do you think is maybe the most ridiculous text from the most ridiculous person you could get? Throughout the long, illustrious history of college basketball and the lore of March Madness, there have been an endless amount of unforgettable names. From All-Americans who went on to become NBA superstars to super fans like Sister Jean, there are a ton of viral sensations in March, but none of them has been as swaggy as the star of the 2025 tournament, Amir Khan, the manager of the McNeese Cowboys. Known for his walkout performances where he leads the team out of the tunnel with his boombox and bars, Amir has become the first team manager to sign an NIL deal, inking with Tick Pick, Buffalo Wild Wings, and Insomnia Cookies. Amir has made the boombox hanging around his neck prime real estate, featuring branding from all 3 companies on there as he walks out rapping with his teammates. And on top of the NIL deal, Amir must be drowning in pussy, as he has developed the nickname Amir Aura Khan, dropping pics like this on the timeline. Now, the viral sensation has begun doing media appearances, running a full press conference before McNeese head coach Will Wade. With McNeese now pulling a classic 12-5 upset during the first round, the Cowboys are primed to make a Cinderella run in the tournament. And if they make it deep into this thing, Amir might become a full-blown superstar by the end of March. I just hope that Peter Parker's buddy from the Spider-Man movies plays this guy in the Disney movie. Announced on Twitter that he intends to run for president of Ireland. And I'm not going to do an ounce of research to see if this is real, if he even is qualified, if he can become president. I don't know what the Ireland political situation is. I don't care, because Conor McGregor fucking sucks. Conor McGregor's fall from grace needs to be studied, because that guy at one point was the pinnacle. When he was the champ, he was the coolest, cockiest, swaggiest, most gangster athlete on the planet. Maybe one of the top of all time when he had both belts. We've never seen a guy on the mic like him, as captivating as him. The whole world loved the Notorious, and now he is maybe the biggest loser on the planet next to Kanye West. I mean, get this guy all the way the fuck out of here. He's lucky he's not in jail for rape. He's become nothing but an obnoxious asshole. He's like beating up old men in bars. He's assaulting women. He's roided out and bloated, and he's nothing but just a mouthy asshole who just flaps his gums on Twitter at guys who can beat the shit out of him, and at guys who have beat the shit out of him. Until he steps back in the ring and proves that he can do that, why the fuck does anybody listen to this guy, let alone think that he can be a president of a country? And listen, I understand what happened over here in America, and if you look at him, he's just running the same playbook, literally the same slogan, said, "Make Ireland great again." Like, if you're gonna do it, at least be original. I absolutely understand he's trying to do exactly what Donald Trump did, and he's just like, let me play that, run that exact same playbook, and I'll win over here, but at least give me a little originality. I cannot stand this guy. I hope that this never materializes. I hope he just fades into oblivion and we never have to hear from him again. A Florida teen is arrested after biting a man's ear off at a St. Patrick's Day party in Florida. During a spring break party at Fort Myers, Florida, the Lee County Sheriff's Office told Fox News that 18-year-old Jack Turner was arrested and faces felony battery charges following the brawl that took place on the Fort Myers beach on St. Patrick's Day. Officials said that deputies patrolling the area were flagged down to a fight around 5 p.m. Getting your ear bit off during the day is crazy. The victim, who was not identified, said he was involved in a physical altercation and a portion of his left ear had been bitten off. A bystander shared footage of the brawl with deputies and claimed she could hear Turner calling the victim racial slurs and then jumped on him from behind. Word to Mike Tyson. I mean, I know this generation probably doesn't even really understand the Mike Tyson Evander Holyfield ear bite, but it's one of the all-time great sports moments that Mike Tyson not once but twice, and I think maybe like a third time even, bit Evander Holyfield's ear off and spit it out on the mat. Just one of the most shocking things you will ever see in the history of sports. And this little teenage motherfucker, 18 years old, out here doing it in real life. Tough St. Patrick's Day. You know, most of us wake up hungover. It's like, oh my God, why did I do that many car bombs? I can't believe I drank that much Jameson. When you wake up with one ear, well, you had yourself a doozy of a time.
The boy KFC, we ain't talking about the chicken. A minute go by and the clock be ticking. Hot takes with stakes, greatest in all the land. Don't blink, you'll miss it. It's the 1 Minute Man.